My name is Megan Rhodes. In this presentation, I will be discussing a taste test experiment that Dr. Norwood's AGEC 4213 class conducted on October 16, 2014. This experiment was conducted to find out more about consumer preferences. Our experiment looked at consumer preferences regarding the soda Sprite and Shasta Twist. This experiment was conducted in an effort to learn more about consumer preferences regarding the two sodas Sprite and Shasta Twist. In order to learn more about preferences, we focused our experiment on two main questions. The first question was, which soda do subjects prefer in a blind taste test? The second question, which soda can do subjects prefer when the cans contain the same soda? These two questions helped to formulate our experiment. In order to answer both questions, we conducted two different taste tests. There are a few reasons we were interested in finding out more about consumer preferences. One reason is that people's preferences can be mysterious and surprising. Many people think they know which soda they will prefer, but they could end up liking the off-brand just as much when they do not know which soda they are tasting. Price can often play a big role in how consumers view a product. Many people think that if a product has a higher price, then it is a better product. This can play into why many people like name brands better than off-brands. The information we gather can help consumers make smarter shopping decisions. Consumers can save money if they like the generic brand of soda just as much as the name brand. The experiment took place on October 16th outside of the Noble Research Center on the OSU campus. The sample for a survey was acquired by using another Ag Econ class. Students from Dr. Adams' Ag Econ class participated in our experiment after they were done with class. We also asked people as they were walking by our experiment if they would like to participate. The latter method yielded only a few participants, not very many. In order to answer both of our questions, we had to have two different taste tests. One taste test, the orange table, was the blind taste test. This test was conducted to answer our first question of which soda do subjects prefer in a blind taste test. In this taste test, the participants came up to a table. On the table, there was a tray with a post-it note labeling the tray with either a circle or a square. On each tray were two cups containing the two sodas. The participant then tasted each cup and recorded their preference on their survey. The second taste test was conducted to answer the second question of which soda can do subjects prefer when the cans contain the same soda. In this taste test, the product label test, or the black table, participants came up to the table and chose a tray. The tray was labeled with a post-it note containing the letter A, B, C, or D. Each tray contained a can of each type of soda. Someone from our class would then pour the soda into two cups, and the participant would try each soda and then record their preference. Each participant was handed a survey. There were two different surveys containing the same questions but in a different order. On this survey, participants were asked to indicate their familiarity with the sodas, their gender, and how often they drink caffeinated drinks. For each taste test, the surveys asked the students to rank their preference on each soda. An example of the question is on this slide. We took steps in order to ensure that our experiment yielded unbiased results. We followed protocol throughout our experiment. During the experiment, we had people assigned to certain tasks. They did each of these tasks for the entirety of the project. Before the experiment started, each person was trained on how to do their task to ensure that they were doing it correctly. We also took precaution when we entered the data. Each of the survey results was entered into the computer twice to ensure that there were no mistakes. We also controlled the experiment. We did this by ensuring that participants did not know what soda they were tasting in the blind taste test. We had tables set up around the corner from the tasting tables. This ensured that the participants could not see what soda was being poured into their cups. It also ensured that they could not tell which soda was in the cans during the second taste test. To learn about the influence of labels, we put different labels on the same type of soda. This was done so we could figure out if the label on the can influenced how much they liked the soda. We also randomized our experiment. We randomized the things we could not control. We randomized the order in which the participants tasted the soda. On the slide is a picture of how we randomized the black table. We had 4 different trays that rotated the order in which they tasted the soda. As you can see, the 4 trays each had a different combination of sodas. On this slide is an example of how we randomized the orange table. We had two different trays. The trays allowed the students to taste different sodas first. On this slide, you can see a histogram of the results from the blind taste test. We learned that people liked Shasta Twist more than they liked Sprite. On this slide, you can see a histogram of the results from the product label test. These results also show that people liked Sprite almost as much as Shasta Twist. In some cases, they liked Shasta Twist more than Sprite, and overall they liked Shasta Twist more. The results from both of these tests were a little surprising to me, because going into this, I thought that people would like Sprite more than Shasta Twist. In conclusion, this experiment provided us with valuable data about consumer preferences. This information would be useful to help consumers make smarter shopping decisions. Thank you.